Hello, everyone. Welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives spoilers recap for Wednesday, March 8 reveals that Belle Brady, Martha Madison, paid Paulina Price, Jackie Harry, a visit in her office and admitted the check for her retainer bounced. Paulina called the bank and was horrified to learn all her assets had been frozen. After Sloane Peterson, Jessica Surfety, gloated to Nicole Walker, Ariane Zucker, about being back in Eric Brady's, Greg Vaughn, bed, she made her way to Paulina's office as well. Sloane handed over a court order and explained that Paulina would need prior court approval for all expenditures now. Once Sloane reminded Paulina that she was going to take her for every last cent, she mentioned the 8-figure judgment she expected. Sloane was determined to have Paulina and her tramp daughter, Chanel Dupree, Raven Bowens, ruled responsible for her mother's wrongful death. After Sloane suggested this frozen asset situation would be a dress rehearsal for Paulina's life as a pauper, Belle vowed to file a motion and get this undone. However, Sloane thought Paulina was delaying the inevitable and vowed to take everything, including every last crumb from Chanel's bakery. In the town square on Wednesday's Days episode, Chanel had a heart-to-heart with Abe Carver, James Reynolds, about her breakup with Allie Horton, Lindsay Arnold. Abe wondered if Chanel would reunite with Johnny DeMura, Carson Boatman, but she said he'd moved on with Wendy Shin, Victoria Grace. Once Abe headed to Paulina's office, she fired the rest of her legal team since she had to hear about the frozen asset news from Sloane herself. Belle thought that decision was hasty, but Paulina insisted she didn't need those other lawyers since she had Belle on her side. If it came down to saving money or Chanel, Paulina wanted to be the one thrown under the bus. The goal was to protect Chanel, no matter how much it cost. In the town square again, Talia Hunter, a civilian, noticed the bakery was closed for the day and seemed frustrated. Chanel was still nearby and admitted she owned sweet bits, so Talia said she was hoping for a job. That led to Talia bragging about the cookies she made and offering one from a container in her bag. Chanel munched on a sample and was impressed, but she wouldn't hire Talia until she put in an application. Back with Nicole on Wednesday's Days episode, she warned Eric that he couldn't be with Sloane since she was such a terrible person. Eric ranted about Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, death, and how he didn't care what was wrong anymore. Since Sloane was great in bed, that was good enough for Eric. Nicole accepted that Eric had turned into a shallow jerk, so she ultimately stomped off. Although Eric was supposed to meet up with Sloane at her place later, she showed up at his door instead. Sloane ripped Eric's towel off since she couldn't wait until tonight. In the park on Wednesday's DOOL show, Lai Shin, Remington Hoffman, demanded to know what was going on, so Stefan DeMera, Brandon Barash, lied about his kiss with Gabi Hernandez, Camila Banas, being one-sided. Stefan acted like Gabi was determined to stick to her deal with Lai, who thought that was good since there was a morals clause in the fine print that prevented her infidelity. There were moments when Stefan confused some words and seemed unsteady on his feet due to the drug he'd ingested earlier. At DeMera Enterprises on Wednesday's Days episode, Johnny pretended he simply told Wendy about E.J. Genera's Dan Furigal concern for Stefan. E.J. kept up the act about believing Stefan was using drugs willingly and thought Wendy could help keep an eye on things. Afterward, Nicole caught Johnny and Wendy discussing E.J.'s hidden agenda in the park. Johnny admitted they considered the possibility that one DeMera brother was drugging the other. When Nicole realized Johnny thought E.J. could be drugging Stefan, she told him that was ridiculous. Johnny insisted that business came before family for E.J., but Nicole pointed out that Stefan's fingerprints were on the drug vial. After Nicole urged Johnny to trust E.J. to do what was best for Stefan, she dashed off. Wendy guessed that settled it then, but Johnny thought maybe Nicole could be in on E.J.'s plot to drug Stefan. Back at the DeMera office, E.J. pretended he was feeling the effects of the drug dose and suggested he was dehydrated. Once Stefan offered up a drugged bottle of water, EJ switched them when Stefan wasn't looking. Stefan seemed smug about dosing EJ again, but he didn't realize he was guzzling down another dose himself. After EJ got updates on Gabi's deal for Lai's shares, he pointed out that a lot could happen in 6 months. EJ wondered if Stefan was planning to align with Gabi and oust him from the co-CEO spot, but Stefan said family came first and added that he could never betray his own brother. That led to EJ insisting he felt the exact same way. At home, Lai admitted to tracking Gabi's phone and thought maybe Wendy was right about ending the marriage now. After Lai said he could take back the shares and give Gabi a chance to be with Stefan, Gabi flashed back to Stefan being on board with the deal. Lai warned that Gabi couldn't have her cake and eat it too, so he asked what it was going to be. Once Gabi insisted she intended to keep the deal, she had a proposal for Lai. Gabi thought they should at least try to be civil with each other, so she suggested there was still time to visit the art exhibit Lee mentioned earlier. Lai smiled and said he'd like that very much. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Gabi will continue to play Lai, but Stefan could stir up temptation and create problems for her eventually. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Days of Our Lives Gossip YouTube channel for more update news.